What is a unit rate? Well, there are three types of ratios. You have part-to-part ratios, part-to-total ratios, and you have rates. In this video, we're going to look at a type of rate called unit rates. Remember, a rate compares two different units. For example, you're comparing here money and time, money and weight, words and time, and distance and time. So you're comparing two different units. Well, then what's a unit rate? Well, a unit rate is a rate where one quantity is always being compared to one of another quantity. For example, here's an example of a rate, $12 for 3 pounds of ham. A unit rate is where we figure out the rate for one unit. So for one unit, for 1 pound, the rate would be $4 per pound. Here's some example of unit rates. $80 per day, so that's for 1 day. 24 miles per gallon, that's 1 gallon. $4.50 per pound, that's 1 pound. 50 words per minute, 1 minute, and 60 miles per hour. That's 1 hour. These are all unit rates because the second term is just 1 unit. Now you'll notice a lot of times when we're talking about rates, we'll use the word per. This indicates that it's a rate and maybe even a unit rate. Now what I've noticed about rates, money is generally the first term. And here's 3 examples. So $20 per hour, $120 per pound, $15 per yard. I found that generally, not always, but a lot of times that first unit will be money. And I found that the second unit is usually time. 30 miles per hour, 50 words per minute, 25 miles per week. Not always, but most of the time. So what are unit prices then? We know what unit rates are. What are unit prices? Well, if you went to the store and you saw that a bag of apples was $5, the unit price would be the price for 1 apple. So if you can get 4 apples for $5, if we divide $5 by 4, the unit price for 1 apple would be $1.25. So unit prices are the price for 1 item. And the reason stores do that, they'll make it easier for the consumer to figure out what product they want to buy. Because here, for example, you have all these different types of ketchup. Well, you can look at the labels and you can figure out what the unit price is. So here it's per ounce, $9, and that's not for ketchup, but here's another label, and this is the unit rate per pound. It just helps you in the decision-making process when you're figuring out what product to buy. So these would be all examples of unit prices. All right, let's work with these. So the first example, the rate for a hotel is $255 for 3 nights. What would the unit rate be, or the rate for 1 night? Well, let's figure that out. We would take 255, and that's for 3 nights. So if you take 255 and you divide it by 3, I'm using a calculator here, the unit rate would be, it comes out to 85. It'd be $85 per night. That would be the rate for 1 night. And you'll notice money was our first term. Well, what would be the cost for 5 nights? Well, since we know 1 night is $85, if we just take 85 times 5, we could figure out the cost for 5 nights. So that would be $425. Okay, what about this next example? Mr. Smith paid a rate of $48 for 12 gallons of gas. What would be the unit rate? So this is the rate. What would be the rate for 1 gallon, for 1 item? So if you take $48 and divide it by 12, you get 4. So it'd be, the unit rate would be $4 per gallon for 1 gallon, a unit rate. And again, you'll notice money is listed first. What would 7 gallons of cost? 7 gallons of gas cost? Well, if it's $4 for 1 gallon, 4 times 7 would be $28 for 7 gallons of gas. Now unit rates can be really helpful when you're comparing two products. So here we have Store A charging $1.60 for 4 melons, and Store B charges $2.70 for 9 melons. So maybe you're looking through the newspaper and deciding which store to shop at. Well, let's figure out the unit rate for each. So Store A, you can get 4 melons for $1.60. If we take $1.60 and divide it by 4, that comes out to 40 cents. So the unit rate would be 40 cents per melon for 1 melon. And again, there's that money being listed first. Store B, for $2.70, you can get 9 melons. Let's see if that's a better deal. Well, $2.70 divided by 9 is actually 30 cents. So the unit rate would be 30 cents per melon. So which store has the better deal? You're going to spend 40 cents per melon at this store and 30 cents per melon at this store. So you would save some money by going to Store B. Store B has the better unit price. How much would you save if you bought 20 melons from each store? Well, you're saving 40 cents minus 30 cents, you're saving 10 cents. So if you bought 20 melons and you were saving 10 cents per melon, you'd be saving $2. Okay, let's do one more example. Now let's say you were babysitting for 2 families, and family A called up and they wanted you for the same night, and family A was offering you $15 for 2 hours. So their rate was $15 for 2 hours, and another family was going to pay you $28 for 4 hours. Which one would be the better unit rate? Well, let's look at family A. So $15 for 2 hours of work, that'd be $7.50. So their unit rate would be $7.50 per hour. And you'll notice money is first, time is our second term. The other family was offering $28 for 4 hours of work. So that would be a unit rate of $7 per hour. So which one's better? Well, they're offering $7.50 an hour. They're offering $7 an hour. You'd make more money if you were to babysit for family A. And how much more money would you make if you babysat for 20 hours for each family? Well, 20 hours times a difference of 50 cents, you'd make an additional $10 babysitting for family A. So that's what unit rates are and unit prices and how we use them.